Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and there was a very unexpected change on the PTR last night. This has since been reversed. However, a wonderful YouTuber by the name of LEOW managed to actually capture some of this before it got reverted. So what we're going to do is take a look at his tour of the map. Massive shout out to this guy as well. There are links in the video description which go to his channel. There is also obviously a link on the screen as well. So go and check the channel out. Awesome work. So let's take a look at this because David Adams, the principal level designer, he said this. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen, but there you go. We have some changes that are still that we are still working on and testing for the map so that what you are seeing here may not be final. Also, as an FYI, it won't be released with the next patch and no ETA for when it will be released. All right, so this is the new Horizon Lunar Colony. Now, what is huge about this is we'll just click play here because most of the map to begin with kind of isn't changed. But what is huge here is Horizon is probably the worst map in the game. It has problems because it's very attacker favored. I do believe it's not very balanced. What they tried to do is make maps 50-50, so attackers and defenders have got almost like an equal chance of winning. However, like, can you see little changes there, little bits and bobs, like little doors and stuff? What I will do is I will pause this at various points and we'll take a look at the different changes and such. So we can already see, like, there are some little changes we've gone past there, but let's pause it here because I think these are more interesting. So let's take a look at this, right? I think most notably, we've got a barrier there, we've got a barrier here, we've got a barrier there. So these are changes to make it more defensible. What this does is actually really, really clever. This means the high ground is now a defensible position. In the past, without these, it was very open, right? If you play a hit scan hero, if you play a Widowmaker, a soldier, even a Hanzo, anybody with range, you would probably want to stand up here and then maybe fire down to the enemy. The problem is you've got no cover. So what's going to happen is you're probably going to get wrecked or you're going to get dove upon, you're going to have to run away. It's not going to be a good time for you. So the addition of these barriers mean that your soldier, that your McCree, your Widowmaker, your Hanzo, whoever you want to put up there, your Junkrat as well, they can sit there and they can put damage into the enemy and they've got cover to use. That is absolutely huge. Because of course what this also means as well is defensive positions won't just be pushed back into the point. You know, and I know, we all know, the way this point is basically played is you will stick an Orisa barrier here, and then you will just sit on the point. The enemy team will either rush through this way and go onto the point. They won't go through this because that's not there, but we'll get onto that in a second. So yeah, the enemy team would rush through here and go to the point. They may rush through this way, high ground, down to the point. But all the while, you're just going to take tons of spam damage here. And so heroes like Junkrat, Pharah, pretty good on this map on attack. However, let's talk about this. This here is a new door. What is going on there, ladies and gentlemen? Well. We'll take a look at this in a second. I think as well, is this new? That might not be new, actually. I might just be smoking something special. I think that is not new. Anyway, let's play. Let's keep moving through. So we're just trying to pick up changes here. So we've got, you'll notice there, we'll just skip this back a second. There is no access point. Can you see as we just come through here? This here is not an access point. This used to be an access point. So obviously you could rush through here, then go through there. You cannot do that anymore. That door is not open. This means you cannot get through there. That is actually a huge change, as you'll see in a second. So let's just keep going, playing forward. And okay, so we move on to the high ground. Now you can see it a little bit more clearly here. You can see the barrier defenses, and obviously there's one over there and there's one here. These, as I've said, give you a lot of cover options, but also there's this door down here which we will get to see in a little second. Okay, so let's just carry on with this. So we're going to move down to the side here and look at this. What is missing from there? There is no door here. This door has been completely filled in, so no longer can you access the low ground and run in that way, which is interesting, isn't it? Why would they do that? Well, let's see what happens if we move on. Because what it looks like they're doing is they're changing the high ground, or they're making high ground more accessible to non-dive comps. This might be a way of combating dive, because dive obviously is powerful because it can get to positions like areas really quick. But if you could do that if you were a non-dive comp. So here we go. So here is the entrance from the low ground, which is a more risky approach now, because if you think about it, before when we had the door here, it was very safe for you to get in here as the attackers, right? you could almost certainly always get there. You probably wouldn't get stopped. You might lose somebody to like a Junkrat trap or Junkrat spam or something like that, but you're most of the time going to get in there. The difference now is actually quite clear. So if we just run this back a second so we can see the door here. This works a treat. This door is now quite open to the point they can hit you from there. From the high ground, they can hit you from there. From the high ground here, they can hit you from there. You're in a massive, wide open space. So you can see how this is going to be very, very risky in a sense to attack. Also, it might make you use heroes more, like Reinhardt, because you're going to give yourself that barrier to actually get into this position. So if you're protected by the barrier and you get in there, there's some interesting opportunities. It just goes to show you how much Overwatch is dependent on the map. Map design itself can have such a huge impact on play. So you can't see things like health packs, but I don't think the health packs work at the moment. All right, so we're moving down into the point. And we're going to pause here. Look at this. Whew, look at that. This is a huge ramp. There is no door here. Remember, there used to be a door that you would enter this way. This quite clearly is high ground access for the defenders. This is a very safe position to be in for a defender. It means that the only way they can get to you on the high ground here is if they maybe kill you with a Widow or something, or their long-range DPS kill you, or they jump on you with, I don't know, dive tanks. But it means that the rest of their team can't easily follow you, right? Because it's only accessible from the defender's point. If the attackers want to come through this way, again, that's a bit risky. You know, running through here and then trying to get up here onto the high ground is going to be a bit of a risky proposition. So again, you can see how this is designed to make it easier for the defenders. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, again, health packs not included. All right, so we've got a tree, which I think we've got some repositioning of these. Wow, hang on. We've got like a redesign of the floor. It looks like, yeah. So there's some interesting stuff here. Like this, I think this is new. What they've put on the floor here. I don't think that makes much of a difference. Maybe it's not new. Maybe it's because I have my graphics on low. I don't know. The tree, though, there's just a random tree there. Why is that there? There's also a tree here. I think these are line of sight blockers for Widowmakers and for anybody who's got range. Because as we see when we go into the point itself, you'll notice there are... Again, it's been designed for defenders to have the advantage. So you can see these trees here, right? Both these trees are in positions which I think give you a bit of like a line of sight block. So this tree here specifically, you can quite clearly see it's going to interfere with sight lines through there from the point towards the attackers. This one, I think, is going to interfere with possibly sight lines coming from over there, potentially, and maybe some coming from this direction. So it's a little bit of protection for the attackers there. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Is this new? Is this new? I don't think that's new. It might be. It might be actually. Yeah, that might be new. Yeah, I think that tall thing wasn't typically there before, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Anyway, let's keep moving on. I mean, it's quite clear to see the major changes to the map. All right, so moving forward, we're going to go into the final defensive point, and this is massively huge. So think about what used to happen on this point before. It was really, really simple. You would attack from the high ground here. I like to play Soldier 76. Soldier is massively powerful on this point because there used to be a bridge here, didn't there, ladies and gentlemen, which would go straight into this door here. This massive piece of high ground would allow you to stand on it as Soldier and then just kill everybody. You just tack visor below. Nobody can touch you. They're all dead. Giving the attackers high ground advantage as soon as they attack is a stupid map design decision because it just means you've got so much... There is such an advantage for the attacking team on the final point. It's just crazy. So what they've done is they've deleted this. It's gone. So now, yeah, you still do have a bit of high ground, but you're restricted to this area. But notice what's going on over here. Look at this. This here is cover. It's protection. So the enemy, or the defenders even, could be standing here behind that. If your soldier runs out here, well, he's got no defense. What can he hide behind? Nothing. This, again, is a quite clear defender's advantage bias, which, again, I believe is because this map is typically won by the attackers. Okay, so that area is unchanged down there. So we're just going to pause here because this gives us actually quite a nice overview of what's going on. We can see this high ground here now, which extends out. What they've actually done is they've taken the high ground from this side and then threw it over there. But this is only accessible from the defenders. If an attacker gets onto that point, that's going to be pretty strange. I mean, you're going to have movement abilities to get up there, whereas the defenders should be able to get up there easy because you see there's a door access there to get through, I believe. But this is the huge thing here. This is a massive defensive quadrant at the back corner there. We've got boxes here as well. So your Zen can hide behind there, I guess. This is where probably I would be if I was playing Zen, maybe. I don't know. I think there used to be a pillar here. So that's been sort of replaced by that, which is actually pretty huge. Let's just play this forward again so we can see. More. Yeah, so this platform here, honestly, I really like the look of this platform because what you're going to be able to do here is a lot of different heroes can set up here. Like your Junkrats, your Widowmakers, your Torbjorn could set up there. I mean, a Torbjorn turret there, maybe that's got sight onto the point and it's protected by this. There's a lot of things you can do here. This is like really, really huge. This is honestly, this to me, it could be the start of a very good trend where they start fixing older maps, because it's quite clear that a lot of Overwatch tactics are map dependent now. Hero power, meta, and all of that stuff. It depends on the map. Okay, so we've got the low ground view here. Now, the difference here is we don't have the pillar right in front of our face. So normally there'd be like a pillar here which you could hide behind. That's not there anymore. Obviously, it wouldn't be like there on the ground. It would be like... You get what I'm saying, guys. It's not there on the ground, but there was something to hide behind. But we've got the boxes now, which isn't too bad. You can see a bit of high ground there. You can see that the whole sort of overhead crane system is still in place. We've still got the truck here. So, yeah, those kind of haven't changed. Let's just go forward a little bit more. All right, so this side room is basically the same. Nothing really changed there. I'd imagine that the large health is still going to be there. This is the interesting bit we're going on now, though. This is the access to the defender's high ground. This is really huge. That access there to defender's high ground is absolutely huge. This, though, you could argue is probably much huger. So I'm going to run back and I'm going to show you. I think I kind of missed a little bit there as we were running through this. Notice the... Hang on. Bit further back. A bit further back. There we go. Stopped right on it. What is this? This is the old Defender's spawn door. It is closed. That is no longer the spawn door. The spawn door does not empty directly onto the point, which was a silly, silly map design decision. And why that was ever done, I do not know, because there were so many complaints about that in the past before this map came out. And then lo and behold, we get a map that's just got that. So you can see the access here is much different to the point. It's further back. It's just not in your face. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, if we just go back and we just have like a quick recap on what went on here, I think what we're looking at now is Horizon has been upgraded, so it has definitely got a defender's advantage, and I think that's what they were trying to do, because typically attackers would win on this map. What they try to do is get a 50-50 split between attackers and defenders. That is not achieved on this map at all. So they're looking at it. I think this is actually pretty huge, guys. I've been Stylosa, guys, and this is Unit Lost. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What other maps would you like them to take a look at? I think I would like them to look at potentially Numbani, possibly. The first point of Numbani always feels a little bit weird. Basically, any maps with high ground and high ground access, I think... Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. You could say maybe Volskaya could have some bits and pieces changed. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa and this is Unit Lost. Thank you once again to Ellie Overwatch. There are links in the video description. Links are on the screen as well. Go and check out the channel. Awesome work. Great catch on getting this before they patched it off the PTR. And yeah, I've been Stylosa, guys. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.